We're going to be asking you guys what you want to see at our 2018 booth. And this is for NAB, the National Associations for Broadcasters. Plus, I have some really funny stuff to show you guys about live streaming technology. All this and more coming up next.
Welcome to the World Studio Tour, where we take you on a tour of the world's top live streaming studios and video production experts. Stay tuned this season and vote for your favorite studio on the season finale live broadcast.
All right, everybody. I wanted to address right up in the beginning the notoriously delayed interface. NDI, actually, NewTek might get mad at me for that. It's actually the Network Device Interface Protocol made by NewTek, trademarked by NewTek, registered trademark of NewTek, but it's notoriously delayed on our part, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about why. Kind of poke some fun. I don't know if you guys know, but a normal person, I think, at this point would say, hey, release it. NDI is great. But the engineer, and basically a normal person would say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But engineers say, if it ain't broke, then it ain't, or if it ain't broke, then it doesn't have enough features yet. You guys may have heard that old joke about the optimist and the pessimist. The optimist says the glass is half full. The pessimist says that the glass is half empty. The engineer says that the glass is twice as big as it needs to be. One more joke for you guys. I'm sure you've heard the joke about the oldest computer in the world. It actually traces back to Adam and Eve. You guessed it, it's an Apple. But it actually had an extremely limited amount of space on it, hard drive space. Actually, it was only 1 byte. And after that, the whole thing crashed. Anyway, ha ha ha. Just thought we would start off with something funny. Let's dig into the presentation today. I'm going to take you guys through our 2018 NAB booth, and I want to hear from you guys about how we should set it up. I also want to take the opportunity to show you what it takes to build a booth like this and the cool things that we're going to be able to do. We're going to have over 25 live streaming cameras all on a single local area network. How is that possible? Well, let's take a look at it here in our booth. So first of all, let's roll the B-roll and show everybody what this puppy looks like. This is the vMix booth, actually. Quickly wanted to show this. The vMix booth, this is from 2017. They change their booth every year. Our booth always stays the same. But there's their booth there, and you can see pretty cool little booth there. There's Martin and Tom Sinclair hanging out. But we actually had a different piece of B-roll. I think if you hit the B-roll button, it'll play. But that's their booth, and we stopped by there and hung out with them. They're really cool guys. And here is another piece from our booth here. This is the PTZOptics producer kit. And you can see here we have it plugged in, mounted to the wall. We've actually got a joystick controller that we run cabling to. And you can see we have control of the cameras. And those cameras are connected to the joystick via serial cabling. And the Intel NUC, we just mounted on the wall. You can mount those on the wall. You can mount them behind a television. And you can see those frame grabbers that take the SDI signals and they convert them to USB 3.0 so that we can bring in those 1080p video signals from the cameras. So that NUC will actually be on the network. And last year, NDI was not working at all. It was our fault. We had the wrong network switches. Everyone was having issues with NDI except for NewTek that I know, because they were talking about DLLs not being proper. Our Wirecast wouldn't talk to our vMix. Our vMix would talk to another vMix, but it wouldn't talk to the TriCaster. So 2016 was not for us a very good year for showing NDI. We didn't have an NDI camera. Most of our NDI stuff wasn't even working. It really just was. If you were at our booth, we never got any of it working. But this year we're going to, and that's what I wanted to talk about today. Let's take this baby full screen, and I want to just talk a little bit about how it's all connected and how it possibly could be connected. So here we have our booth, and I'll zoom out and kind of show you guys what it looks like. We've got the big sign there in the front. There's a little table in the front that will have space to put stuff. This side has always been our NewTek TriCaster side over here. In the back, this is a little bit new. In fact, there's one more clip, Michael, maybe you could play. Hey, good to see you, Tom. Thanks for joining. There's one more clip that comes next that I want to show. This back presentation area is where we do our streams and things. Here's a better look at it here. We usually have like a little white couch, maybe a couple plants, and this is a pretty good look at it. And this is the view that I want to make the full presentation from. So instead of, and the other thing I should mention is we're not going to be in South Hall this year. We will only be in Central Hall, because that's a little bit more of a busy area. It's a bigger hall. It's more central to the entire show, and very excited to be kind of with all the other camera places.
What's the difference between South and Central Hall, like for NAB?
So South Hall has actually always been more for the software and production manufacturers, production software manufacturers. So NewTek's there, Wirecast is there, vMix is there, Blackmagic is there. It's a great hall. Don't get me wrong. It's one of my favorite halls. We were there for CES in that hall just a couple months ago. But Central Hall is where Panasonic, Sony, Canon, and JVC are. So that is why we are going to be there. And that title, I don't know if you can, that little bottom right, it says title, and it's been bothering me for like every show. If you can right-click the social media title. But let's not worry about it. Let's take this back full screen, and we will show, I want to talk a little bit how everything's going to be connected. So here we are, and this is a Google SketchUp drawing. We have Google SketchUp models of all of our different products. In fact, these scenes are really nice to do this.
Well, wait, hold on. I'm sorry. What for vMix? What do you want me to change?
The title, the vMix social title, it says title, and it needs to be filled in. The right-click the social title. But we can do it another time. I just keep forgetting to update that. So here it is here. So we've got a NewTek side, the Wirecast gear we usually put in the front. So that's where our Wirecast system goes. And then we have the producer kit here. And then again, we have our back setup. So let's talk a little bit about how this is all going to be set up. So if my telestrator is on, we can go ahead and take a look at this. So imagine that every single camera, 1, 2, 3, 4, just right here, but also 5, 6, 7, 8, there's 8 over there, 9, 10, roughly I'm thinking at least 10 cameras are all going to be coming back to a network switch that's going to be in the back of this booth. And I'm taking suggestions, by the way, everybody. If you've got ideas for how this is going to work, these cameras are going to have to go, we're going to have to tape that to the floor there. Oliver has an idea, showing off Mimo Live for the Mac. Oh, he is showing off Mimo Live for Mac at the NDI Pavilion. That's awesome. That's a really great idea. And then, so here we go. So all the cables are going to come back. There's a little hole there. We're going to fish them up this wall. Everything goes back to the network switch. So essentially, the network switch is going to provide power for all of these cameras, and it's going to provide video and audio. So all of those 10 cameras are all going to be running over NDI. Now, these cameras here, actually I forgot to mention, these two cameras here will be running via SDI directly to the Intel NUC there, which I don't have. There, I can actually give you guys a little tutorial here. We can import an Intel NUC. I have it right here. Show you guys how this works really quickly. Bop, bop. And there should be an, but I know I have an Intel NUC. There it is. Intel NUC. Put it on the wall. Where are you, Intel NUC? There you are. There you are. Okay. And we'll just rotate them just a little bit. So this Intel NUC here is our Windows-based Intel NUC, and I'm just going to stretch it out because it is the Skull Canyon. There we go. Now it looks like a Skull Canyon, right? So that's going to be on the wall there. That's going to be plugged into these two via SDI, as you saw in the video. So those two might not actually have to be on the network, but I think they will be anyway because vMix will be bringing them in. And if we set NDI on vMix, which we certainly will, we should have access to all of these cameras. And this is, it's so funny because I don't know if you can do a picture-in-picture on this, Michael, but it's so funny because this is what I wanted to do last year, and it just didn't work. It did not work last year, but I think it will this year. I think that Wirecast will be able to bring in all, 10, 15 cameras. The TriCaster is going to be able to bring in all 10, 15 cameras. And then this is the part that I don't know what to do. I was thinking maybe the vMix production bot maybe is what we've used in the past, but definitely a vMix system here that will also be able to have access to all 10, 15 cameras. And then the vMix system over here, the producer kit, which would also have. So all of these systems should essentially be able to bring in cameras and send out cameras. The TriCaster Mini that we're bringing would maybe be ingesting the video over HDMI, but maybe not. Maybe we'll just run everything over NDI. So that is the plan as of now. What do you guys think? And Michael, are we getting any questions in the chat that I could address?
Here's one I wanted to put up for you.
All right, read it to me.
Any plans to move to the Intel NUC Hades Canyon when it's released in a couple months?
Mm-hmm.
Wondering how the new Radeon RX Vega M video chipsets.
And I see you fixed the title too.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So, Daniel, I'm glad you asked, and I'm not sure if I'm spilling my beans here or not, but that is going to be the next generation of the producer kits. We've gotten this question before. Not only are we going to be moving to the new Hades when they're released in a couple months, and we work with Intel and they're going to give it to us early. So not only are we going to get our hands on it early, we'll show it off, push it through its paces. I'm really excited about this. But also, it's also going to open the doors to finally start doing full NDI productions, which on Monday, actually, on our Stream Geeks channel, we're going to try to do a 4-camera NDI shoot. And I'm a little scared about it. I'm a little frightened. I'm still going to be bringing my SDI frame grabbers because I'm worried about doing an all NDI production. But once you do one, you become more comfortable. So I'm hoping that by doing an all NDI production with an Intel NUC Skull Canyon, with a normal Skull Canyon setup, I'm hoping that we'll be able to have an all Ethernet, all IP-based stream on Monday, and that will be the new producer kit generation. So maybe it'll be out by NAB. I don't think it really will, judging by how quickly NDI is being released on our end. But when it is out, we're definitely going to be upgrading and having new packages. Please, please, please have better audio this year. You should have dedicated. Can you read them to me? Because I just to stare.
You should have dedicated mics for you, and who else is in the booth, plus 2 roving mics for people who come by.
Yes. Now, on the audio setup, you're right. We are now going to have 4 XLR audio inputs. I'm going to have 1 handheld, just like straight up for given to people, 2 headsets for me and Tess, and then I have 1 extra lapel for somebody who's like a scheduled guest. That should be pretty good. I might even just give the scheduled guest a handheld and have Tess and I with our headsets, so we kind of stick, because we've even got our names on them and everything. But I do believe our audio is going to be a lot better this year. Oh my God, last year was bad. We're not going to be doing any remote guests, so I'm not going to need to be wearing headphones. That was such a drag. But Daniel's remembering last year when Tess was actually broadcasting the show from Philadelphia. We were just vMix calling to her from Las Vegas. We thought that would be a better plan. This year, I'm using a cloud-based system. So I'm not exactly sure 100% how it's all going to go down, but I believe we're going to stream with an Easy Live, and then from stream with a Live View Solo encoder so that we don't have to pay for internet, and then stream out from the cloud.
Oliver has a great comment. You should have a 24/7 stream where people can control the PTZ cam by tweeting at it.
If you know how to do that, Oliver, let me know, because I've always wanted to do a 24/7 cam where people can tweet at it. And if you know how to do that, you are my new best friend. If there's a way to do that, please let me know. You will be my new best friend.
Here's a question. Can all 3 switchers take the same camera in at the same time?
Ah, great question. Yes, they will. Now, here's the thing with that, and I'm actually going to share something with you guys, because this is a little something we're going to be talking about on Back to Basics next week, but it's really important, and I actually want to share it right now. So essentially, as you probably know, I'm going to pull it up over here, and we can show it full screen. It probably wouldn't even hurt. Is that essentially every camera on the network has an IP address. Oh, I don't want to show my NDI licenses. There we go. All right, let's show this full screen because I want to take you guys through this. So essentially, every camera on our network has an IP address, right? Well, the thing that was new to me, the thing that I didn't realize, is that they also have a multicast address. So this is getting more and more complicated every year. Now, see, I didn't know anything about multicast addresses last year, okay? I'm going to be honest with you. So I don't know if that was one of the reasons why it wasn't working. Matt Davis wasn't at our booth, so he wasn't there to help. But basically what you want to do, and if you have multiple cameras and you're trying to bring them into multiple sources, this is what we were trying to do last year. We couldn't get it to work. Every camera's got to get a unique IP. Every camera has to have a multicast enabled network. When they go back to your network switch, that network switch has to be multicast enabled. And the multicast switch is connected to vMix. It's going to be connected to Wirecast. It's going to be connected to a TriCaster. And because it's multicast enabled, all of the cameras can be connected. We're talking about a lot of cameras here, can be connected at any time to all of these. There's no reason why we can't connect to each one simultaneously. So that's the cool part. That's what we're excited about. And that's what we tried to do last year. It fell apart. It really did. We had to go back all to SDI, and it wasn't very good. But will we be selling cameras at the show? No, we will not, Edgar. Sometimes at the end of the show, if someone's from another country and they want to buy one at the end of the show, one of the B stocks, sometimes we'll let that fly. But that's not what we bring the cameras there for. We will not. I don't even think you're allowed to technically sell things at the show. So the official answer is no. We will not be selling cameras at the show. Looking for ideas still, guys. I know you guys have good ideas for this. Yes, selling from the booth is not permitted at NAB. We will not be doing that.
And then he says, yes, you can do that controlled by tweeting with a 24/7.
Oliver, please, you have my email address. Please let me know about that. If you can help me out with that, then we are going to be in some serious cahoots. I want to talk to you about that. I want to work with you about that. Aren't the multicast addresses assigned automatically? No, they are not assigned automatically. We will assign a default address, but that default address will be automatically assigned to each camera. So you need to go in and change the multicast address. What we've done here, and that's the part I wanted to show, is that you can see here that we have actually made the multicast address the same last 2 digits as the normal address, IP address. So that's the part that we didn't have that going last year, and I was assuming that everything was going to work multicast. No, it did not work. It wasn't working at all. It was, and I hope it works this year, because last year it was like it was the big year of NDI. No one was using Wirecast with vMix and TriCaster that I could ever see at NAB with it actually working.
would multicast work the same way with a Connect Spark or other devices like that?
Yes, so a Connect Spark is essentially, it's kind of like a frame grabber. It takes an HDMI input, it brings it on your network. It can do it wirelessly, and apparently the performance over wireless is pretty good. It will actually work the same way. I believe it's multicast enabled, and you can bring it up within Wirecaster, TriCaster, and vMix all at the same time. This becomes a networking, a networking phenomenon. You need to know your networking. It's so funny. Here I am using my NDI Telestrator. I have a full live preview of my screen, and it's working great. And it wasn't working very well for me just a few days ago. Matt Davis came in, our IT manager. He came in, he updated our Ubiquiti switches, he made a few changes, and now everything's working great. So the only advice I can really give you guys is to update everything on your switches and enable multicast and IGMP spoofing.
Mike Lotta is saying that we should not use wireless mics at the booth. That could run into wireless frequency issues with your booth neighbors. Oh, that's you know what? I'm going to pack hardwired microphone cables if that becomes an issue. Thank you, Michael. That's a great point. I am going to bring hardwired mics because you're right, especially in Central Hall. You bet we're going to be right next to shore, and all the guys using their wireless stuff. It's crazy how much wireless transmission goes on in these trade shows. So you're right. I need to bring hardwired backups for sure. Is your Unify switch multicast capable?
It certainly is. We have multicast enabled right now. We've been playing around with it, and it certainly works. Multicast is an interesting thing, and I hope to show it off in its full fury next year. Now, I remember last year, it wasn't working. I said this 5 times already. It wasn't working. Couldn't bring up the Wirecast cameras in the vMix. Couldn't bring up the vMix cameras in the TriCaster, even though technically you should be able to. But no one really even asked. And so it didn't really, there was a few people that were like, can you do that at this point? And those people understood that it was it's a new thing. This year, I think maybe more and more people are going to be asking, hey, they're NDI cameras. They should be multicast enabled. We should be able to bring them all in. I hope that we've set up our switch properly. So I'm going into this with much more of a plan. We've already got it working here on our local network here in our office. So this should not be a problem at NAB, but it's no small feat to be trying to bring together 3 different, live streaming platforms. XLR cables are your friends. I get it. No, it's true. It's too true. All right. So if there's no more, Oliver sounds like he's got a really great idea for us. Please email me about that, Oliver. I can't believe that you can actually control a PTZ camera by tweeting. Is he speaking of Twitter? Like a Twitter tweet?
That's what I got.
That's what I'm getting from it.
I don't know if any other, tweets or,
Wow.
Yeah.
Very interesting. All right. Well, let's roll the credits. We're going to pull a giveaway. We're going to put our playlist on in just a second here and show you some cool little things going on in the studio. Answer any questions that you guys have about our NAB system. It really did tie in to the notoriously delayed interface that we're working with here. Hopefully sometime next week or the following, we're going to have this for you. But it did really tie in with what our booth is going to be. And I think we might even have, when I get more concrete setup information, we're going to do another show about it. But we'll see you guys after this. Hit the playlist button. All right, we're back. Turn the playlist off, and I am going to go ahead. I'm just going to stand here. I think this is a good spot. Oh, perfect. Perfect shot. All right, so, guys, here's the, can you see that? Is that moving it forward a little more?
No, on the other side.
Move it over here?
Yes.
All right. Let's see if it lands on the free camera on this one. Oh, just a little past. All right, so we're going to do the giveaway now, folks. Here we go. If you're waiting to win this baby, let us know in the chat. We want to know if you're here. Just say, hey, I'm here. I'm waiting. Just so, because it helps us kind of pull through. You do have to be active in the chat and to claim your prize, which we found to be a very productive, rewarding process for our live viewers. So here we go. Constance Albert from St. Therese, Quebec, Canada. Constance, we want to hopefully have you draw one in the chat. I'm just going to pull this because somebody told me that it was rigged. Somebody actually had the gall to think that we would rig this. And so I'm going to keep pulling it because I want it to land. Oh, it's a free NAB pass. To land on a camera to disprove whoever would say that. I can't believe someone would say that.
Are you taking questions right now?
Yeah, I'm taking questions. Taking questions, answering.
Saw one. Shoot.
And then I'm going to pull another winner. I didn't see Constance in the chat. Let's see if Constance is in the chat.
There you go.
All right, question.
This one for Matt Davis. Don't the cameras support MadCap? That ties in with Oliver's earlier question about automatic assignment of multicast addresses.
Ah, MadCap. Yeah, because I'm agreeing with you there. Not that I know what that is. Is it too loud?
Yeah,
all right. I don't know what MadCap is. Oh, look, it landed on it. I don't know what MadCap is, but I would wish that it would automatically search for the available multicast addresses and assign one. Apparently, what I was told is that there's no DHCP for multicast. So I don't know if MadCap is kind of like DHCP. All right, I'm going to pull a new winner. What do we got, Michael? Another question? Oh, yeah, Bud has the exact same Wheel of Destiny. Aaron Reck from Ashland, Kentucky. Aaron referred Amber Hensley. Thank you. And are you here? Do you know anybody named Aaron Reck in the chat? I'm going to pop that in the chat here.
Here's a question.
All right, hit me.
Can you add your audio setup through NDI at the NAB show?
You can. Yes, you can, actually.
Yes, you can.
So that's an interesting thought. You certainly can do that. So the NDI setup... Aaron referred Amber The audio, so NDI was not really built for audio. It's not quite as robust an IP, audio over IP system as, say, Dante, which is something that we're working on and playing around with. But you can do certain things. You can pull audio from one system and bring it into another system. So if that's all you got to do, we do it all the time. It works great in a pinch. All right. I don't think Bud is here. Or Aaron Rack. I'm not seeing Aaron. Here we go. Pulling a new one. Let us know if you're here. We're trying to pull these as fast as possible. David Hun. H-Y-U-N-H. David Hun. Missing Tess Batisto. Please notify if you see her. Yes, we're having an issue. She's not here today, and she didn't tell us where she was going. No, I'm just kidding. She's off today. She is at a wedding. Apparently right now she's getting her nails done.
Well, that's been taking a long time. So
that has been taking a long time. Suspicious
hold on.
A long time. By now, Tess should be doing her hair. Nails took a while. Yeah, I would think she's probably at the hair stage of things at this point.
We should have her call in to the show.
We really should have. I would have wanted her to. She thought about it. She might even be watching. But she might not. I mean, she's on the show every day. Is David here?
David who?
Bud Herds.
Bud?
Bud's here, but we didn't pull Bud yet, did we?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Pull another winner. It's fun. We like pulling winners. We want you guys to win. Someone's going to win a free camera.
Jim says, we would love to have the capability to support a guest-controlled PTZ camera on my mast in Honolulu.
Ah.
Very cool.
Very cool. And I would love that too. So I am going to find out from Oliver how this is done, and we are going to get to it. Now we have David Farrow from Spain. David Farrow. D-A-V-I-D, Farrow. F-A-R-O. Not David Farto. Anyway, so we're pulling winners here. I'm just looking at stuff. You guys saw, we talked a lot about multicast. Paul UTs, says Bud. I know. I thought you were said I'm here, and I thought that was because you were claiming you're winning. But I just asked you guys to let us know that you're here. Jimmy's here. Nick is here. Mark is here. Mark thought she quit. I know. We were all scared. No, she's still here. Don't worry. Don't worry. John is saying he's here as well.
John's saying it's the same quarter of the wheel that gets hit every single time.
All right, what quarter do you think that it what do you guys think? All right, what could possibly, how could it possibly, come on guys, seriously, come on. There's no tricks going on here. I can't believe that someone would say that. So it's a tiny bit insulting, but I'm not getting into a war here. It's just that we wouldn't, of course we wouldn't do that.
They're just having fun.
You guys are just messing with us.
Having fun.
Miguel Ho Chen, and I know you guys are just joking, but we wouldn't do that. Come on. We love you guys. How about this shot for me, Mike?
Yes.
My battery's running low. All right, I'm done with the telestrator, man. This telestrator is hot. It burns.
It's hot.
Hot. Ah. Literally, you don't want to touch this thing after
So
running the
dump that
telestrator.
water on it.
No, but really, this thing's hot. I don't think Miguel's here. He's from Costa Mesa, California. Miguel Anthony Ho Chen. And do you know of an app that does the same thing as the wheel? Well, technically, oh, I see what you're saying. No, I don't. I don't know of an app that does the same thing as the wheel. But we're going to pull another winner here. I guess it's a good point. It's like almost as if, all right, Jeff Lemaster. Jeff Lemaster from Orlando, Florida. I haven't seen anybody named Jeff Lemaster in the chat, have you?
No.
We're going to have to start going through this a little faster.
Okay.
All right, please let us know if you're here. It's boiling down to the last like 75 of us here. Toronto Maple Leafs will win a Stanley Cup before the NDI is released. You're right. You're right. It's all about the jokes today because that is the kind of joking mood I am in. John Thompson. John Thompson, I saw was here.
Oh, did you pick him?
I think so. John Thompson. John Thompson.
John Thompson.
All right, John. John's here. I saw John is here.
I know. Here, he just...
All right, he's here, right? I saw him.
I just saw him. Hold on, let me... Like, he just... Oh. This is his... He just...
What did he say?
Same quarter every time.
All right. Website Wheel Decide does that. Oh. Okay, website Wheel Decide. Well, maybe we can start using that. All right, here we go, guys. Are you ready? John Thompson's here. We're going to spin it. Let's spin it this way.
Okay. All right.
Ooh, look at that. Oh, Michael likes to switch cameras like 50 times. All right, this is going to be a big one. Here we go.
Yeah, that was a good spin.
Michael, that's cheating. The camera's going to stop it right before the camera gets on.
What's it going to pay?
Oh,
Wirecast.
a free license of Wirecast. Congratulations, John Thompson. See? That's worth like $500. Come on, guys. Cut us some slack. Camera tricks. Couldn't see the full wheel.